The WiTalk9x, not to be confused with the Wii Sports on the Wii,
Nice throw!
is a new lightweight headset from Saramonic designed for easy and fast communication on film sets. This video is sponsored by Saramonic, who I have an ongoing relationship with, and they have provided the WiTalk9x to me for review. No money changed hands, but I get to use and keep the product. With that out of the way, I want to talk about some of the functions and features of the headsets, why you'd want to use them on set, and some of their practical applications. What appealed to me about covering this product is that they can be used on small scale productions with only a few crew members, and that's how I intend to use them, but you can also scale up and use them on large sets with more crew. In my case, most of the time I'm working with a crew of 2 or 3, which makes their 3 headset kit perfect for my use. I think it's easy to look at headsets on a smaller budgeted project as a luxury, but the reality is they have the ability to save so much time for you and your crew. Making them a permanent part of your setup is actually worth considering. So first, let's look at the specs of the WiTalk9x, which is in fact an updated, much lighter version of their WiTalk 9 series of headsets, which came out about a year ago. The big change for these headsets is that they are much lighter at only 172 grams and therefore much less of an imposition for 8 to 14 hours on set all day than many other headsets. They are IPX4 rated water resistant, which means you can wear them in bad weather conditions on location without worrying if they're going to short circuit. The battery life ranges between 9 and 12 hours, and in our testing on a real world shoot, one battery lasted a full 10.5-hour day on all of the headsets. In this 3-person kit, which is the most affordable option at $600 US, in that package you get 1 master headset and 2 slaves.
My.
You don't need a lengthy setup, it's already configured at the factory, so once you turn them on, using the power button they will connect to each other automatically. You can also connect up to 9 of these headsets this way, and what's unique about the 9X is it doesn't require a base station, although that is also available, thus bringing down the expense and bulk when bringing these to set. So for me as an indie filmmaker, I appreciate that it's not another massive piece of kit to worry about. You just need the headsets. They come very conveniently in this bag, which houses everything. All you have to do is pull them out, put the batteries in, and go. However, it is also possible to scale these up to 16 headsets by purchasing a WiTalk base, which also increases their range from 400 to 700 meters, and you can connect multiple bases together to work with even bigger crews. But let's just focus on the small scale indie setup that I would be favoring. In the box, you get a 10-slot charging dock with 6 batteries, meaning there's no way you'll run out of charge during a full day shoot with any headset. But interestingly, you get the regular premium over-ear cushions and on-ear foam cushions, along with spares if you want to swap cushions out through the course of the day for hygiene purposes. They just clip on super quickly. The headset microphones themselves are fully adjustable to position them closer or further away from your mouth, and you slide the temple holder up or down on the headset band for comfort. Now, the simplest way to use these is just pull the microphone in front of your mouth when you want to talk and then push the microphone to the upright position to mute it. You'll hear a beep when you know that that has happened. However, you can also use the button next to the power to mute your mic, and you'll know when you're muted because the LED light by your microphone will also turn red. Now, the button beside this little LED light is for noise cancellation, and this is one of the great features about the headsets because on set traditionally between shots it's very loud and there's a lot going on, and hearing all of that noise in your headset is going to be very distracting. So leveraging this AI noise cancellation is actually really useful and something that you'll frequently have turned on, if not always. When it's activated, the LED by the mic is green. The orange volume knob can turn the audio of your headset up or down, and if you press it in, you can activate broadcast mode on the master or push to talk mode on the slave headsets to control when you're on mute more quickly. Basically, you have 4 simple buttons that kind of do everything, and the design is very simple and straightforward, making them idiot-proof, which is good for someone like me who has proven to be an idiot many times. I got my director of photography to test these on a recent shoot, and they were able to set up without checking or looking at the instructions in basically under a minute and use them for an entire day without any issues. It's that easy. There's also an extra feature these headsets have, which I think is worth mentioning. On the top of each headset is a 2.5mm jack, and the set comes with a 2.5 to 3.5mm adapter you can plug in, which you can then plug in your own headphones to the headset and use your headphones to monitor the audio instead of the headset itself if you don't like wearing the headset and you prefer to keep things even more minimalist and start giving major Agent Smith energy.
Oblivious.
You can also further control the headsets through the Saramonic app. It also should be noted that these headsets are completely modular, meaning you can replace parts of them without needing to replace an entire headset, which means they're going to last longer and are more environmentally sustainable, which I do appreciate. And I appreciate the idea that I can just repair my headsets instead of having to buy all new ones. On set, the headsets are all about saving time. Everyone can hear instructions meant for the crew and keep on the same page about what's happening without people having to pass the messages around the different departments. And often you'll find many crew members separated by distance. They're in another room, they're grabbing gear from the van, someone's been sent for a coffee run, a talent is waiting in makeup. Communicating across the different departments quickly and efficiently with headsets helps the set move quickly. Looking at it from my perspective, doing corporate work with one assistant, if they're on B-cam or camera assisting me, I can give instructions to them very quickly about the type of shots they should be getting. I can check in with them if I've sent them off to get another lens or light from the gear bag. And oftentimes I'm camera operating myself, so I can't stop what I'm doing and have a conversation. But using the WiTalk9, I can just quickly check in and keep going. Now, if I'm purely directing, then I might have a headset to talk with my DOP about the framing of a shot or the lighting of a scene if I'm not over his shoulder but sitting back at the monitor or video village. The DOP could also be doing the same, communicating directly with his camera operator to ensure the composition and framing of shots is to his own liking. What I've found about using headsets is that everything just moves a little bit faster. And unlike walkie-talkies, there's much less of a delay because the communication device is right by your mouth at all times. My DOP took these on a recent film shoot to put them to the test, and what you're seeing is footage of them in use from some of that work. His overall impressions were that the battery life was very good, the AI noise cancellation also performed really well, and the signal range was really impressive. He was using this shooting in different rooms on different levels of a music studio with one of the headsets in a soundproof room, and he didn't get any dropouts the entire day. His only issue was that even with the headphone audio turned up to the max, he still found that the audio volume could be a little too quiet for a loud set. Granted, he was using the single ear version, which I opted for, but it's something to be aware of. Now, for me personally, I'll be using these on my smaller independent and corporate jobs to guide my other crew members and help them support me as the primary camera operator. And I appreciate the fact that Saramonic clearly designed these with indie filmmakers and smaller crews in mind. And as crews are always getting smaller, this all stands to reason. I definitely feel this will be a big improvement to my own efficiency on set. And I think what makes headsets so good is that they can be very discreet. You're not projecting all this chatter over a walkie-talkie that can be heard by everyone. All that audio is just in your ear. If you want to say something, you can say it very quietly into your microphone. You don't have to announce it to the whole crew or have people overhear something that maybe you want to keep relatively private. And I think that's why headsets often work better than walkie-talkies, because you can have them on all the time without worrying about them disrupting the shoot or the set when you're trying to communicate or share some information. If you're interested in buying one of the sets, you can find links in the description. And if you're considering introducing headsets to your shoots, I would recommend hiring them for a shoot first to see how much benefit you get from them. And look, feel free to let me know some of the creative ways you use headsets on your set to make the most out of your shoots.
If you need me, I'll just be chilling.
using my new WiTalk9x in my X-Wing, shooting down TIE fighters, making a run on the Death Star trench with a couple of proton torpedoes locked and loaded for your thermal exhaust port. Don't worry, I don't need targeting. I'm just going to use the Force. As always, I am the Savage Sky Walking Wi9 Talking X rated filmmaker, and I'll see you when I see you. When I blow up this Death Star. Bam! Yes! Got him.